Welcome, my curious cat lovers and brainiac. Today, we're going to explore a mind-boggling concept that will have you scratching your head, just like a kitty in a box. That's right, we're talking about the Schrödinger's cat thought experiment and how it relates to our brains and visualization. Now, picture this, a cat in a box, but not just any cat, a cat that's both alive and dead at the same time. Sounds crazy, right? But here's where things get really wild. Our brains are capable of visualizing this impossible scenario. That's right, we can use our powerful brains to create mental images of things that don't even exist, like a quantum kitty in a quantum state. So, if you've ever wondered how our brains work, or just love a good thought experiment, this video is for you. Get ready to have your mind blown like a catnip-filled toy. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the wacky world of Schrödinger's cat and our amazing brains. Schrödinger's theory. Schrödinger's theory is a principle of quantum mechanics that deals with the probabilistic nature of subatomic particles and their behavior in different states of observation. Alright, so Schrödinger's theory is a real head-scratcher. Basically, he said that if you put a cat in a box with a radioactive atom that may or may not decay, the cat is both alive and dead at the same time. Say what? It's like the cat is Schrödinger's pet, and is playing the ultimate game of hide and seek with it. But here's the kicker. The cat's fate only becomes determined when you open the box and look inside. Until then, it's like the cat is in some kind of cosmic limbo, chilling out in quantum superposition. It's like the cat is the ultimate drama queen, refusing to reveal its true nature until the very last second. So, in conclusion, Schrödinger's theory is like trying to predict the weather in the Matrix. Everything is both here and there, up and down, alive and dead, until you look at it. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the needle is a cat and the haystack is a box. And all we can do is scratch our heads, shrug our shoulders, and wonder what kind of crazy cat person Schrödinger must have been to come up with this theory in the first place. Subatomic particles are like tiny little ping-pong balls, bouncing around and doing their thing. But here's the crazy part, when we observe them, their behavior can change. When we're not observing subatomic particles, they exist in a state of superposition. This means they can be in multiple places at once and have multiple possible states. It's like they're a little bit of everything all at once, and we can't know exactly where they are or what they are doing. But as soon as we observe them, their wave function collapses, and they are forced to choose a single state. It's like they're saying, oh no, someone's watching. Better pick a spot and stick with it. And here's where things get really weird. The act of observing can actually change the particle's behavior. For example, if we observe a particle and it appears to be in a certain spot, it might actually move to a different spot if we observe it again. It's like the particle is trying to mess with us, saying you think you know where I am. Think again. So, in conclusion, subatomic particles are like little tricksters, bouncing around and defying our expectations. And when we observe them, their behavior can change in unpredictable ways, making them even more mysterious and fascinating. It's like a game of subatomic hide and seek, and we're just trying to keep up with the little rascals. And what does that have to do with my life? Wait for something very interesting to come. Our brains. So, our brains are like radio stations, constantly broadcasting different frequencies of waves. These waves are categorized into 5 types: gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. First up, we have gamma waves. These are the fastest brain waves, and they are associated with high levels of concentration, creativity, and problem solving. It's like your brain is cranking up the dial and broadcasting on full blast, ready to tackle any challenge that comes your way. Next, we have beta waves. These are the waves we emit when we're awake and alert, like when we're working or studying. They're like a steady stream of brain chatter, keeping us focused and on task. Moving on, we have alpha waves. These are the waves we emit when we're relaxed and in a state of calm. They're like a gentle breeze blowing through your brain, helping you unwind and distress. Then we have theta waves. These are the waves we emit when we're in a state of deep relaxation, like during meditation or daydreaming. It's like your brain is taking a little nap, slowing down to recharge and rejuvenate. And finally, we have delta waves. These are the slowest brain waves, and they're associated with deep sleep. It's like your brain is shutting down for the night, getting ready to rest and recover for a new day. So, there you have it. The different types of brain waves are like a symphony of frequencies, working together to help us focus, relax, and sleep. And now that you know a little more about these waves, you can tune into your brain and make sure you're broadcasting on the right frequency for whatever task or activity you're doing. But what does quantum physics, my cerebral waves, have to see with my life and my desires? There is still a mystery to be solved. Power in a brain. Our brains are like powerhouses, constantly generating and using energy to keep us going. In fact, the brain uses more energy than any other organ in our body. This energy comes in the form of tiny electrical impulses, like little lightning bolts zapping around inside our heads. And these impulses are what allow our brain cells, or neurons, to communicate with each other. Think of it like a giant game of telephone. When one neuron wants to send a message to another neuron, it sends an electrical impulse down its long, skinny arm called an axon. When the impulse reaches the end of the axon, it triggers the release of tiny chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters then float across a tiny gap between the neurons, called a synapse, and bind to receptors on the other neuron. This triggers another electrical impulse, and the message is sent down the next neuron's axon. And so on, until the message reaches its final destination in the brain. It's like a little dance party happening inside our heads, with all these neurons communicating and passing messages back and forth. And the more energy we have in our brain, the more efficient and effective this communication becomes. E equals mc squared. First, let's break down what each of these letters means. E stands for energy, m stands for mass, and c stands for the speed of light. Now, the equation says that energy is equal to mass times the speed of light squared. So, what does that mean? Well, let's start with the speed of light. The speed of light is really fast. In fact, it's the fastest thing in the universe. It travels at about 299,792,458 meters per second. That's so fast, it can go around the entire Earth almost 7.5 times in just 1 second. Now, let's talk about mass. Mass is basically how much stuff something has. So, if you have a big rock and a small rock, the big rock has more mass, because it has more stuff in it. So, when we put these things together in the equation, it means that a tiny bit of matter actually contains a whole lot of energy. In fact, it means that even the tiniest amount of mass can produce an enormous amount of energy, if it's converted properly. This is what makes the equation so important. It helps us understand the relationship between mass and energy, and how they can be transformed into each other. It's like a secret code that unlocks the mysteries of the universe. So, in conclusion, E equals mc squared means that even a tiny amount of matter can contain a lot of energy, and it helps us understand how mass and energy are related to each other. It's like a cosmic puzzle waiting to be solved, and it's up to us to figure out how to use this equation to unlock the secrets of the universe. I still do not understand anything. Wait. We have the solution near. Let's analyze for a moment. Schrödinger's theory explains that the cat has two states, and that we don't know it until the lid is opened and its state is seen. That's 50/50ths likely. We know that the particles have a particle and wave behavior, and that we cannot know exactly where they are, we only know it when we see them. We know that our brain has certain frequencies in which it works and that it works. We know that energy is transmitted, and that it is mass times the speed of light squared. And we come to the discovery. Our mind transmits waves that are energy. But where does that energy go? Energy is constantly being transformed and transferred from one form to another, but it never disappears. It's like a never-ending game of energy hot potato, and it's up to us to use it wisely and efficiently. Interesting, right? We have delta waves. These are the slowest brain waves, and they are associated with deep sleep and R.E.M. REM stands for rapid eye movement, and it's a stage of sleep that you enter into about 90 minutes after falling asleep. It's called rapid eye movement because during this stage, your eyes move around quickly and jerkily behind your closed eyelids, almost as if you're watching a movie or reading a book in your sleep. But REM isn't just about your eyes, it's actually a really important stage of sleep for your brain and your body. During REM, your brain is really active, almost as if you're awake. In fact, this is when you have most of your dreams. Your brain is processing and organizing all the information it's received during the day, and trying to make sense of it all. At the same time, your body is really relaxed during REM, almost like you're paralyzed. This is because your brain is sending signals to your muscles to stop them from moving, so that you don't act out your dreams or hurt yourself while you sleep. So, in a way, REM is like a private movie theater in your head, where your brain is processing and organizing all the information it's received during the day. And while you're enjoying the show, your body is taking a break, relaxing and recharging for the next day. In conclusion, REM is a really important stage of sleep for your brain and your body, where your brain is really active and your body is really relaxed. So the next time you're in REM sleep, you can think of it as a private movie theater where your brain is organizing all the information it's received during the day, while your body takes a well-deserved break. And in this R.E.M. situation is when we communicate with the exterior and organize our life and ask for our wishes. That is why it is so important to go to sleep without worries and being relaxed and calm, visualizing and feeling that you already have what you want. I hope you liked it, and until the next video, thanks.